a group of us got together to say, how can we celebrate this Jubilee year of Fatima so that it doesn't become a May 13th event and forgotten about. And so originally we came up with the idea to do a 54-day novena at sea to row from New York to Galway, Ireland. And I trained with two other fellows in the UK for 10 days for that. However, we did not get the ocean rowboat in time. And so the idea then was to do the intracoastal, and beginning in Miami Beach and go to New York, a 1,400-mile journey. And it's the East Coast. And I think providentially this is what God had in mind to begin with, because America needs to really turn to Our Lady in terms of being formed in her Son. And what's encouraged me on this trip is our Protestant brothers and sisters. I think the ocean or the rowing intrigues them, and oftentimes, and they'll ask me, what is Fatima? And I'll explain, well, Our Lady of Fatima. I'll explain that the Lord sent, just as he sent his angels and his prophets, in 1917 he sent his own mother to deliver what is known as God's peace plan for the world. It's each day varies, but to sum it up, it's exhausting. The rowing, but that's a good thing, because Our Lady, she asked, the very first question she asked the children of Fatima, are you willing to endure the suffering God wills to send you? And the children all said yes, and they looked to do acts of penances. The reason is that when someone learns that their suffering has a purpose, that they can take the suffering and save a soul and offer it to God as a sacrifice, that can change you. And the result of that is always peace. And I'm convinced that's why Fatima is known as God's peace plan for the world. When I first came into Georgia, I saw a gator in Mosquito Lagoon in Florida. That was only one, and he was off at a distance. And when I left St. Simon's Island, and I'm in the Intracoastal, I take a turn, and suddenly I see hundreds of them. Hundreds of gators, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you can see their eyes, and they're all swimming around you. And that's my first experience that close to a gator. And even more interesting, I had to sleep. So I sleep on the boat, and so I have all these gators around me, and I thought, you know, exhaustion trumps fear, I think, every time. I had a schedule initially, but I've surrendered it. God has reminded me over and over and over again, this is his mission, not mine. This is his mission.